Terrace Bay celebrating its 75th anniversary, and I'm going to be 71. So I've been here most of the time.
I came to Terrace Bay in 1960 as a newlywed, so I've been here for 62 years, which is a long time.
I've lived here my whole life, so I was born in 1961 and I've been here since 61 years, long time.
I was born in Terrace Bay in 1958. I'm a Regis, one of 6.
I'm as old as this town. I was born in 1947, so this is a special time to me too.
When I was teaching at the school, the enrollment was about over 300 kids.
It was a very, very busy, active little school and full. I think there was like close to 30, 34, up to 34 kids in a classroom. I think when I graduated from grade 8, there might have been 28.
I started off at St. Martin's Elementary, which, believe it or not, is this building here. It's been repurposed, they've moved on to a newer one, but yeah, this was it. This is where I went to school.
I attended St. Martin's Catholic School, and then when I left there, I went, of course, to Lake Superior High School. At the time, there were 2 campuses, and I went to Terrace Bay for grade 9 for sure. I'm not sure if it was 9 and 10, but then the rest of it was spent in Scriber.
The classes were so big right through school, and you think back now, I think of some of my older teachers, Mrs. Falzetta and Mrs. Soughton and a few of them, how they must have struggled to handle 36 hooligans in one class with no supports.
10 years ago, after the mill closed for a short length of time, it was pretty scary to think that there wouldn't be the schools would be closing down because there was just no one to go there.
You know, when my son went to school in Scriber, he ate at his friend's house most lunches. We were very, very fortunate that it was easy. Mm-hmm. It was simple and easy, and people looked after each other.
The families, years and years ago, they had 5, 6, 7, 8 kids in a family. So, of course, the schools were bulging, and people are not going to be having those kinds of families nowadays. So,
I think my favorite memories we were talking about today is when we were kids, when we played outside all the time, like summer, winter. We were just outside all the time. We lived on Lakeview Drive, so we were in close proximity to the drop, and we spent many, many, many winter days out on the drop. And in the summertime, it was the swimming pool. We lived at the pool.
I remember showing up once. I was pretty early for coaching, so I was walked to the rink about 5 o'clock, and the people were lined up past the swimming pool, up past the public school, and all I remember was getting out of the car and everyone cheering.
There was lots of green belts, and we'd play just scrub baseball out behind our house. There was lots of kids just that, you know, after supper we'd all go out and play baseball or dodge the ball and all kinds. It was just fun. It was just fun and simple.
Well, back then you didn't have 120 channels and a computer, right? So you were outside. Most of the time, I think we got up in the morning, we had our breakfast and we were gone, and you'd hear, we used to laugh, it was like the Elizabeth Street scream, where it'd be all of our parents would be yelling our names out when we were trying to drag us in to eat, and then we'd be back out, and then the same thing again at dinner time or supper time, and then when the sun went down, they were dragging us back in.
I was a rec center girl. I don't want to say what I did.
So I was young back then, 19-year-old. It was fun. It was a bunch of us locals from the area, Terrace Bay Scriber area, and we were the Augustaugan River Rats for the first time, and first year in the league was a bit of a struggle. We had a good team, but we didn't make the playoffs, but we gave it a run, and then from there it kind of took off. I was fortunate enough to play that year and become the captain of the team in the second year.
We had big bonspiels, like the mixed bonspiel was huge, as was the ladies. The ladies, Friday night is ladies' night, and that was always a big wild party.
I remember when the boys started getting Honda 50s. Now that was something. That was lots of fun, and there was lots of trails for them to go to.
Yeah.
And being a teenager, it was hard your parents knew what you did. Because, the neighbors, everybody saw it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It was, but it was still lots of fun.
You couldn't find a senior anywhere in this town, because obviously everybody was young and they all came for a job at the new mill, and they were all young people. So there were no seniors. Even when my parents came to visit us, they were only in their 40s or early 50s, because we were so young.
We're all getting old. I used to laugh years ago when I used to say, oh, look at that old guy, I'll never be that old. Well, you know what, I am now.
A lot of the citizens, I can remember one person saying, what are you doing wasting your money spending several $100,000 on a lighthouse and that sort of thing? And we're looking at being a welcoming community. That was, we want to be a welcoming community. And once that lighthouse was completed, the mood in the town changed. It was a very proud moment.
The downtown was probably 100% council driven. We just wanted to rebrand Terrace Bay, make it look better, newer, fresher.
Because the downtown needed some refurbishing, and we needed to look at what do we want to brand ourselves a little bit as. We had small logos, original logos like Caribou and that, and nothing wrong with them, but it was time to get refreshed. And so we decided on in the lighthouse and redoing the downtown. That was around 2010. We got involved in that.
We're really proud of it. These guys do that, and they take care. They have so much pride in the course, and we struggled a bit through the years, and the last couple of years we went up to 100 and 130 members, give or take. This year we put in a $50 for junior golf to get the kids out, which is obviously the future of the game. And so that's exciting. And we've hosted, over the years, we've hosted some of the best events. We host our annual Masters, which is almost 200 players. It's the biggest event in the region. And we've always been proud that in the last 10 years, our events have been the best attended.
The tourism is taking off, and that's good to see. I think people were quite afraid of change when it started, but I think that's what our future is going to be, is tourism. Because why not? I mean, we live in such a beautiful area.
How they decided to build this place in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing. There was a train. A dam went in. Someone had the foresight that, we should go up to the bush full of flies with a lovely river, and build a town from nothing, absolutely nothing.
Sometimes you just close your eyes and you hear the chants and you hear that, and during the time, like I said, you don't think it's ever going to end, but it does, and you move on. But I think a lot of us would miss the times, and to this day I'm 47 and they still call me Coach Bobby, which means a lot to me. I mean, these guys are successful with families and kids, but to me, we made a difference, and the River Rats and the community made a difference. So it was a huge part for us.
I would hope that the future of Terrace Bay continues the way it's going right now, and that the industry stays stable, and that there's always going to be jobs for people.
I think it's in a really good place. I think there's some great people in Terrace Bay right now, and I think that the future's bright. It's just it is what we make of it, and I think we have the right people to make it work.
We've got a great community here, and I'm proud to be part of it. And we have a great team. As you get involved in council and you want to move forward with things, you realize the importance of the community and volunteers especially.
75 years sounds like a long time, but as far as the other communities on the North Shore, we're probably the baby. We're pretty young, but we still have 75 years of history to celebrate, and hopefully we'll see some people we've missed for a lot of years and maybe make some new friends.
I'm just still amazed when I think that 75 years later, how fortunate we are to have built on somebody's weird idea that we should do this. And here we are 75 years later in a corporate town that has done so well based on so little to start with. Mm-hmm. And now we're flourishing. It's a beautiful little town, very proud to call it home.